What it do, Gary Lamb, main event maniacs? It's your main man, Gary Lamb, and I'm going to tell you why. The contract dispute for the 49ers between Brandon Aiyuk is going to come down to Kyle Shanahan. And I'm going to tell you why. But first, I'm going to break down both sides of the ledger, and I'm going to tell you why, even though it may cost us a Super Bowl, both sides have to make their stand right now. But again, spoiler alert, it's so good loving somebody when somebody loves you back, and that's fact. When all these contract disputes were disputed, and I'm talking about Debo, and I'm talking about Nick Bosa, what's it come down to? Kyle likes him, and they know it. We all want to be loved. It's a lot of money we're talking about, close to $30 million. Ain't no one's gonna die. Debo ain't dead. He only got 26. Niners ain't dead. They paid Nick Bosa over 30. They got the guy they liked, homegrown, and the players got the money. It all comes down to love and happiness. You hear what I'm saying? That's what it's gonna come down to. But I'm telling you why both sides have a point and they got to make their stands right now. And who does it cost? Us, the fans, because we don't need this crap in our life. Every year there's drama. But you know what? If there's a team who can handle it, it's our San Francisco 49ers. So we got to survive the offseason. Maybe a slow start. But if Brock Purdy stays healthy, we're going to be okay. And that's a big if, but let's go. Why now? Why are we fighting over this right now? Number one, it's the big time money for wide receivers. There's a lot of wide receivers, but the price is astronomical. It's big time bucks. $30 million for a wide receiver when you only got a $26, $27 million receiver in Debo? The price keeps going up, and you still got to pay Brock Purdy. They're making Brock Purdy wait. He has to wait. Talking about $50 million for Brock? What are you going to do? Who's going to go if Brandon Aiyuk stays? We're already talking about trading Debo. Is Brandon Aiyuk a number one? He caught about 3 balls a game in the playoffs. When Debo was out, when he was injured, Brandon Aiyuk had a chance to take over. He didn't. Is he a number one? I think he is, but nobody knows. You couldn't get the trade you wanted for Brandon Aiyuk. Maybe someone else won't pay him the big time bucks. Maybe the 49ers aren't a passing team. Maybe Brandon Aiyuk is that darn good. But maybe the 49ers don't need that. But I'm going to give you the flip side. Brandon Aiyuk, you talk about production or lack of production, he's a second-team All-Pro. There's only one guy ahead of him, first-team All-Pro. All right? Over close to 80 balls caught. 2 years in a row, 1,000 last year, 1,300 this year. What do you want to say? He's a fourth option? And that fourth option might change because last year, quarterback disarray started with Trey Lance, then Garoppolo, then Brock. You don't know what's going on. He still delivered. Always delivered. Brandon Aiyuk always delivered. And you know what? No block, no rock. Brandon Aiyuk blocks. He blocks as good as anybody on the team. So he's productive every single play. That's on his side. All right? And he's a leader. He's a little bit diva, but mini diva. All right? Maybe the problem is he listened to Debo, you know, but Debo and Brandon Aiyuk, mini diva. The 49ers look like they got their bases covered. They drafted Ricky Pearsall and Cowling. But don't let the smooth taste fool you. The problem with the 49ers is, number one, they can't block the pass rush. And two, you want to get that ball off quick, but they had no one who could get off the line in the Super Bowl. That's why they got beat. It's not just man, press man. But Aiyuk has those long arms. He's strong. He was open a few times, but he wasn't the number one guy. Big question mark. But with the 49ers, they do not have Brandon Aiyuk replaced. And I'm not putting anything bad against Ricky Pearsall because he got sweet feet. Once Pearsall's got some space, man, he's good. But if I was a defensive coordinator, until he proves he can get off that bump and run, that bump coverage, man, I would never let him see anything anything but press on third down. And that's the bottom line. And that's what Brandon Aiyuk brings. So he's not replaced, at least not yet. All right, Ricky Pearsall, I think he's tough over the middle. He's got great feet. He's got quickness. But, hey, you got to get off. If you can't block, if everyone's on top of Brock, he needs to get it off quick. And that's what Brandon Aiyuk does. And that's what these other guys are not able to do because Cowling is just too damn small. Maybe next year they get buffed. Maybe next year they can get off the line. But just as soon or as late as the Senior Bowl in practice, I'm seeing Ricky Pearsall getting knocked down in press man. I like him. He might play well. So might Cowling. But that X receiver, the guy you could trust, the guy Brock should trust, that should be Aiyuk. So Aiyuk's got to hold out. And yeah, if anything happens to Brock, if the 49ers don't deliver this year, if they just want to go away from, you can't trust management. What if the Niners just decide to go? They drafted Ricky Pearsall. They drafted Cowling. What if they decide to go away from Aiyuk? So he's got to make a stand this year. So both sides have got a beef. Both sides have to make a stand now. And you know what? It's probably going to get resolved. The problem is this. It may cost us the damn Super Bowl. I want to talk more about blocking. Brandon Aiyuk blocks. The cost of having a bunch of skill players, you take away from the line. Brandon Aiyuk blocks. He plays good in the running game. And yeah, you want to say he's not the number one guy. CMC's the number one guy. And that's right. But that might change. I'm telling you, Brock was not the man. You didn't know Brock was going to be back from the elbow. And he still had an MVP in the conversation season. Do you want to have CMC run the ball like he did last year? You don't want to do that. I wouldn't buy none of this baloney if I was Brandon Aiyuk about, not enough. You are producing in the blocking game, but blocking, it ain't catching the ball. You don't get paid to block as much as you do catching the ball. It's fair. So these guys are going to have to negotiate. I just don't think Brandon Aiyuk feels appreciated, and I'm not sure the 49ers do appreciate Brandon Aiyuk. He's an action guy. He's the guy the young guys look to. He's handled on the field, and now he's acting out a little bit. He's still mad because Kyle Shanahan never gave him his props. He's mad he was in the doghouse. And I'm going to tell you, the 49ers, you want to keep your guys because 49ers players play hard. Look at Gravedigger. Look at Chase. Look at guys we're bringing in. They don't play as hard as 49er homegrown talent. You want to keep your own guys because they play hard. Brandon Aiyuk is everything you want a 49er receiver to be. Is he a number one? We don't know. You don't get those kind of reps. But I know Justin Jefferson ain't going to block like Brandon Aiyuk. That's the bottom line. All right? So we need each other. We are the perfect match. But from the 49ers perspective, do you want to give a big fat diamond ring to someone who don't really love you? They get the wedding, they get the ring, and then they go? Is he going to be another T.O.? You don't know. And I don't think so. Brandon's reputation is better than that. But if you're Brandon, do you want to trust the 49ers and play without a contract? When, you know what? They are spiteful. They may not get you the ball. They drafted 2 other damn receivers. They're cheating on you. They can cost you money. And it's Kyle's offense. Kyle already's got the big reputation. He's a big man on campus. They're always going to blame you. And he's on top of the game. Second team All-Pro. So both of these teams both these sides got to negotiate. And I'm telling you, just like T.O. said he didn't want to get traded. They're flying high. For the Niners to reach the heights, Shanahan has got to call Brandon Aiyuk. And they got to get together. So let's stay together. And it might be a treasure. And I'm talking about the Lombardi Trophy. Number 6. Let's get it together. Brandon Aiyuk and Kyle Shanahan.